Hello, Legacy students. Marsh here. So today we're going to talk about Turtle Drawings Basics, Day 1. It's our final unit of programming. Our essential question, how can I make a picture using code? So when you're like, turtle, what? Turtle drawings is just how to draw lines in a window using very simple commands like forward and turn. Years ago, right here is actually a picture. There used to be the ability to do pictures using code. An actual device looked like an actual turtle. That's why we kept the word turtle drawings. It just kind of became, I don't know, of history and just nostalgia. Our turtle looks a little different. He looks like this. We've been kind of playing with our robot. We've been calling him Robot throughout the year or some time together. But our robot's going to look something like this on CodeHS. So first, we need to make a turtle. So we're going to import the turtle into CodeHS. At the top of our program, we will type from turtle import star, turtle equals turtle, and then we're going to hide turtle. This hide right here doesn't hide the turtle that we just made. CodeHS has a turtle already in there, but that turtle has very limited abilities. So what I'm making sure that we have the ability to do is use Python's fully built-in turtle, so that way you guys get all of your options when you're drawing. And I try to make sure that that is at the top of your program already, so just in case you would want to do any of other programs. Basics to know. The turtle will start in the middle of our screen. He's going to begin pointing to the right, and his pen, which I'll explain, is down. His little world, so the world of our turtle, is going to be a 20 by 20 grid. So he starts in the middle, we said. He starts at 0, 0. So right here is where my turtle is. And he can go 200 to the right, up, down, all of that. So think of it almost like a coordinate plane in math. But he always starts at the point 0, 0 in the middle of the screen. And notice he is pointing to the right. Commands to know. First thing you want to do is obviously draw a straight line, right? To draw a straight line, you're going to say turtle.forward, and in the parentheses there I have a hashtag, and that hashtag stands for how many pixels you're going to move in the direction that you're currently pointing. Now, pixels are extremely tiny, so keep that in mind. So if you put 100, though, that would do half of his world that he'd be drawing. I can also do turtle.backward, and in those parentheses, I can put how many I want to go in the opposite direction of what you're pointing. So if he's currently pointing to the right, he'll actually drive backwards. Other things to turn him, turtle.left, and in those parentheses, you would say how many degrees he wants to turn. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to move. That just means he turns. And then turtle.right means he'll turn so many degrees as well, whatever parenthesis you want. 90 is the most common. Maybe you want to take full 90 degrees turn, but sometimes you want to do other little turns as well. When he is walking around, our turtle will draw behind him. And sometimes you just don't want it to draw because maybe you just want to pick up the pen and get to somewhere before you start drawing. Turtle.penup, parenthesis, what that will do is it'll pick up the pen and no longer draw when it moves around until told to put it down his pen. When you say turtle.pen down, he puts down his pen and he starts to draw when he moves. One thing that is important to note that if you picked up the pen, make sure you put down the pen. Okay. There's nothing sadder than drawing this beautiful picture, typing in all this code, and you push run and you realize you forgot to put the pen down after you moved your turtle to the correct location that you wanted him at. So be careful. Make sure that if you pick your pen up, make sure you put it back down. And that is our notes for the day about how the basics of our turtle drawings. What I'm going to want you to do is go ahead and jump on Classroom and click on the link to get you to the practice program on CodeHS, our example program. I'll meet you there. So here I am at the CodeHS example program. We're going to use this program to help us understand how to create drawings. So I'm going to click Explore this example. So Notice it is a little different. We have this big box right here. That is where our picture is going to show up. And then right here we have our console, which we're used to seeing, but actually the console really doesn't need for our information. So we started our program from turtle, import star, turtle equals turtle, and then hiding the turtle. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my turtle go 20 pixels the way he's pointing. So I'm going to type in my code turtle dot forward. And then in the parentheses, I'm going to make him go 25. So I'm going to type the 25. Then I'm going to go look over here. I'm going to click run. Notice he drove 25 pixels. Now notice 25 is really tiny. Okay. Again, pixels are a tiny amount. They're actually not that big. So keep that in mind when you're looking at it. If I wanted him to take a right, zoom out a little bit. There we go. I'll say turtle.right. Make him take a 90-degree turn to the right. Oops. And you know what? I'm going to make him go forward again. I'm going to make him go forward 75 this time. So then he goes a little bit forward. So notice he took a right, and now he's driving downwards. So now you can kind of let yourself kind of drive around. Maybe I wanted to pick up his pen first. So I'll say turtle.pen up. And then I'll put his pen down again. And then I'm going to move him forward. I'll move him forward 75 again. So now if I push run, notice he's drawing, but he's not, or he's moving, but he's not drawing until I put my pen down, and then only did he draw again. So as you're looking at this, yes, it is kind of a little different, but it is programming. It just takes you a little bit of time to think through. As you're working on a program that has this, may I recommend the following? I'd recommend a couple of lines of code. Okay, just a couple. And then push run. See if it does what you want it to do. If it doesn't, then you can fix those lines that you just typed in. If you go through and start typing a whole bunch of lines, okay, let's say 20 lines of code, and then you push run, you're not going to know if you got it right. And if you don't, then you're not going to know what lines caused that problem. You would have to watch it draw several times to see what happens. So that's why I recommend writing about 3 or 4 or 5 lines of code, pushing the run, making sure it draws what you want, just in case you didn't take a left when you should have taken a right or something like that, because that happens quite a bit when you're doing this kind of program. But that is the end of our example. I hope you enjoy drawing wonderful pictures with our turtle. I will see you later, Sabers.